guys? So here is another one to show off. I don't know who this is going to yet, but this is, I've done a build like this before for a buddy, Scott Keith. He has a Volkswagen, and he wanted to do a dial where it kind of looked like the gauge cluster. So we had done a dial like this before. This one is slightly different than that one. This one actually has is inversed of what his was, because before we painted the hands, or I'm sorry, painted the accents and the center, and in this one those are completely etched out and the background is also etched out. So I hand painted that and sanded it in like a drab green color. So I'm just going to call this a pilot gauge. Looks like a gauge. It's in a pilot setup. I did a white Ranger handset on it. I did a brushed case, a tall coin bezel on it, a silver with white accent, like ghosted bezel insert, and then low profile exhibition caseback, black rotor, stainless steel movement holder, and then a matching green Horween strap with a brushed clasp. This thing definitely looks pretty awesome. So if it's going to you, congrats. I didn't do anything on the crown. I just thought, well, I could do a star for like the pilot aspect of it, but I don't really have a star on here. And I was like, clearly an anchor isn't going to work. I don't have any ones that have my logo on them. I need to actually just get more. But I thought just a clean, crisp crown actually functions well for it. So that's the build as a whole. Maybe it's going to you. If it is, congrats. This is a good looking build. Bezel will turn left, bezel will turn right. It is on freaking hard. Some of these tension rings that I get, once I get them snapped on, man, they are on there. So feels like I need to turn it a little bit more. There you go. I kind of line them up with the crown, the center of the crown. But bezel turn left, bezel turn right, non-clickable style. Automatic mechanical, so you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it in a watch winder. But if it's dead, sorry, I'm getting messages right now. If it is dead, make sure you wind it just a little bit before you put it on. So back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. At that point, you can wind. And wind is a turn away from you. Turning it towards you doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to keep your finger spacing and just go back and forth. If you do it for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, even if you're not very active, you will keep time throughout the day. And if you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, you're going to max out your 31+ hour power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it, so you can wind it all day if you like. Whenever you're comfortable with how much you've wound it, pull it to the one and only click. You can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement. It's going to keep going. And then you also notice you got a wobble crown that deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement. So if you're pushing a crown on it, you are not bending anything. You are just, it is deflecting that. If you kind of pull it straight, you won't even feel it. Okay, Google, what time is it?
4:03 p.m.
4:03 p.m. Gotta get to the post office on another build. Push it in to get it out of that time setting. And then wind it down. And that is how you set your time and wind it. So if this is going to you, congrats. Awesome watch. It's going to come with matching beads. Entirely up to you whether you wear those or not. This will come in actually a dial matching custom box. And even the pillow that I normally do in these colors actually matches. It's like it's supposed to be. I mean, that pillow looks good with everything. So I'm a plaid guy. It looks good. Unless you got like red. I don't do a lot of red builds though. But actually looks like it's supposed to be there. It's going to come with watch clearance. It's good on all glass and metal parts. So everything there in the center. Non-toxic, non-streaking, non-residue, and some leather conditioner to keep this leather strap perfectly soft. Apply it on the front and back, let it soak in, remove any excess. A little bit will go a long way, so use sparingly. Just if you feel that it's a little rough against your skin or something like that, that's all. That's the only time you got to do it. And these are thick spring bars. I kind of pull them a little straight. If you notice it gets a little hung up down here, just pull. It's a thick spring bar. You shouldn't be bending it or anything like that, but if you notice that it's up a little bit, just give it a pull so that now you're straight. So it will work in more and more and more and more over time. And then lastly, some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. This is an acrylic glass, and you can scratch it, but if you do, put a tiny bit of this on it, buff against the scratch using your included microfiber, buff it out, generate some heat with your thumb, and you should knock it out in about 20 seconds. Don't buff with the scratch because you'll remove your compound, buff against it, and then polish it, and you're using your thumb to polish. You're buffing it in there, and then you use another section of it to remove any excess, and you should have your watch back to normal. So if it's going to you, congrats. Very awesome build for you to pick up. This is still kind of a custom one-off dial. Even though I have done this dial before, I did it in a variation of that. As I said before, the center that's raised was etched out and filled with paint, and then index, the numbers were filled with paint. This, now those are completely etched out and backside lumed, and the background around those are what are etched out. So there you go, guys. Appreciate you all. If you want to have me build you something custom unique, reach out, and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.